Hello, I would like to take you on a journey into the world of professional wrestling. This is the Wrestling Report. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Report, where I talk about my passion, and that's wrestling. I'm your host, John Ale, and thank you very much once again for joining me on this beautiful post-Rumble Sunday. Wow, what a show. I don't even know. First thoughts, I have no idea what to think. I think there were parts of this show that were absolutely tremendous and amazing. And I think there were parts of this show that weren't that good. And I'll get into it all. The Royal Rumble, if you guys don't know, is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. It's the first pay-per-view I remember watching back in 2011. That was my first ever Royal Rumble. And I just always loved like the chaos and the surprises and the magic that was always brought with a Royal Rumble. And so I always get excited for this show. It's my favorite show of the year. So I'm actually really happy that I get to start my Wrestling Report journey with the first pay-per-view show being the Royal Rumble. So it feels poetic. It feels like it's meant to be. It feels like it's supposed to happen. So once again, thank you everybody for checking in, and we're going to have a double whammy. I have my Raw and SmackDown episode for the week come out with this one. This will be a dual release, so you can watch them at your leisure. I've already watched everything. I know everything, and I'm ready to talk about it. So before I talk about anything, I'm going to once again preface that I want to include the people who may not know wrestling like I do, or a lot of us do. So I'm going to go ahead and break down what a Royal Rumble match is, because there's two of these. Two of the four matches that happen tonight are Royal Rumble matches. So the concept of a Royal Rumble is basically two people start in the ring. They fight, whatever, and every 90 seconds someone else comes out. And this process continues until all 30 come out. So 30 people are selected, and they come out at 90-second intervals. And to eliminate somebody, you throw them over the top rope with both feet touching the floor. Simple concept. Last man standing wins the match. So we're going to go ahead and kick that off with the rules firmly in state with the Women's Rumble. I should also say this too. I'm not going to go over every single person that came out. I'm only just going to go over kind of the highlights of the match itself. If you want to look at who all came out, you can. It's public knowledge for sure. I'm just going over the highlights of this match. So the two people who came in at number 1 and 2, let's go over that. So Charlotte Flair enters at number 1. This came after SmackDown when her and Alexa were talking about their goals and aspirations for the Rumble. I didn't think she was going to be number 1, but I actually kind of liked the fact that she was number 1. Considering she's won the Rumble twice, I like the underdog factor that they're trying to give her. And you'll never believe who comes out at number 2. Her bestie, Alexa Bliss. So they do what they naturally do. They give each other a hug. And they were faking each other out at the start, with their different finishing moves. They were trying to see, like, hey, who's got the better of who? And, they didn't have the better of each other. They were just evenly matched. So, unfortunately, their story would come to a heartbreaking end when they were teaming up to eliminate Nia Jax at some point in the match. But in the process, Charlotte eliminates both Nia Jax, who they were tending to eliminate, and her partner Alexa Bliss. So Nia and Alexa were on the apron fighting each other. This was some point in the match. Charlotte gives a big boot deny it, and I guess it's at the impact of that knocks Alexa off with her. So the facial expressions that both women give each other when Charlotte realizes this is so freaking great. And I think it sets up potential problems, maybe. I'll get into that later. I'll get into that after my analysis. So another point in the match, we see Becky Lynch, the Intercontinental Champion, come out. Maxine Dupree, they have issues. Considering the whole deal with Natty being in the mix. I'll get into that too. So Maxine and Becky go at it naturally because they've had problems. They're both in the Rumble. They both want the same thing. And speaking of Natty, she's got a repackage. So we got this vignette on Raw with a new kind of intimidating Natalya, but now she comes out and she's Natty. She's not Natalya anymore. She's got braided hair. She's got a mouthpiece. This whole repackage. She's got a new theme song. She's had the same theme song, I swear to God, for a decade. And they've finally given her a new theme song. They've given her a new look. So now she comes out as Natty. So she comes in at number 13. And then once she goes in there, she goes straight for Maxine Dupree. She betrayed her a couple weeks ago. She's still upset. She's trying to stake her claim. She's trying to show people what this new version of her is about. Becky Lynch and Natty both end up eliminating Maxine, but then Natty turns around and eliminates Becky. So now she's eliminated all her ops. She's like, I've got you both. So I imagine on Raw, Natty's going to want that Intercontinental Championship. The Judgment Day end up entering, all three of them. If you remember, Liv, Roxanne, and Raquel, the trio. They all end up in there together, and their pack-a-dog mentality obviously comes out in this, crazy match where you never know what to expect. And, Chelsea Green comes out, and I love Chelsea Green, by the way. Just do a quick YouTube search on her. She's so good. There was a moment in the match where she was almost eliminated, and her Secret Hervis came to save her. Her Secret Hervis is basically Alba Fire is dressed up, I guess, as a security detail. And she was on her back, all fours, as Chelsea was stepping on her. And it's because her feet can't touch the floor. So she's crawling on the floor because she's not a part of the match. She's crawling on the floor, and Chelsea's, trying to keep balance on the ropes and then on her back and gets back in the ring. I think that was an insanely unique way to get back in the ring, and I love that. I think it was unique. I don't think I've ever seen it done like that before. Nikki Bella comes out, and if y'all know about Nikki Bella, former fiance of John Cena, now dating Cooper DeJean, I think, of the Philadelphia Eagles. She comes out and she's got beef with Stephanie Vaquer, so I'm sure she wants to win that and go fight her at WrestleMania. But let me tell y'all who comes out at number 29. So we're deep in this thing now. And at number 29, her twin sister, Nikki Bella's twin sister, it was fucking Brie Mode. It was Brie Mode in the building. Brie Bella has returned to the WWE for the first time in years. And she just got a crazy pop. Yes chants for her husband, Bryan Danielson, all throughout the arena. Oh, it was such a good return. I was so surprised by it. I haven't heard any rumors about her coming. I didn't hear any rumors about her being in the Rumble because from as far as I knew, it was complicated because her husband's in AEW now, and I don't think she was given the green flag to come back, but I guess she has, and now she's here with her sister, and I'm super happy for it. But coming in at number 30 was another surprise. Not really, but something I think we all figured was coming, and that was Tiffany Stratton. She had some sort of injury, quote-unquote, that took her off television. She's back now. She returned at the Rumble. and it was rumored for weeks. They already mentioned it when she came out, so it's not really a surprise, but it's, it's nice to see her back, obviously. The twin magic of the Bella Twins ended, unfortunately, at the hands of Lash Legend, who I again mentioned was the future of the company. She came in. Once she came in, she eliminated. And I mean she eliminated. She eliminated Charlotte Flair, who was in there for like 50 minutes. She eliminated Io Sky. She had up to 5 eliminations. So her run was like crazy good. That lets me know she's probably going to have a great 2026. I mean, when you look at performances like that in the Rumble, usually that coincides with, hey, this person's going to have a good year. So I see a lot of good things coming for Lash Legend. Unfortunately for Lash Legend, she wouldn't win this match. She was eliminated by Rhea Ripley, who was then eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez, who I thought personally was going to win. Due to her stuff with Stephanie Vaquer, I thought that would have set that up. Bing, bang, boom. But she was eliminated. But not only was she eliminated, she was eliminated by her own partner in Liv Morgan. No reason to. It's not like they were the last two. There were girls in the ring. Liv Morgan chose to eliminate her partner. So, that leaves 3 in the ring. That leaves Liv Morgan, NXT upstart Sol Ruca. Oh my god. Please do a Google search on Sol Ruca. Please. Your day will be better. I promise. And Tiffany Stratton. Sol Ruca hit a double soul snatcher, which was incredible. When I tell you she's got the best finishing move in the business, she does. The soul snatcher. I'm telling you, look her up. Sol Ruca. SOLRUCA. Please. So good. With all 3 women on the apron fighting for their spot at WrestleMania, it was Liv Morgan. It was Liv Morgan who ended up winning. Her opportunity was there. It was finally there after being the runner-up for 2 years or something like that. Crazy. She never got to win. Michael Cole put it best. She was always the bridesmaid, but now she's the bride. She has won her opportunity for a championship match at WrestleMania. So, whoever that is, I don't know, but Liv Morgan has won the Royal Rumble. I mean, what a match. In my mind, that was probably the best Royal Rumble for the women of all time. You can make a case for 2018. You can make a case for 2019 with Becky. But it's hard. I don't know. That was a really good Rumble. I think the ladies absolutely delivered on some memorable moments, great action, new exciting futures, and all kinds of things like that. But the main things I want to preface is like, what are we going to do from here, right? So obviously the big thing that comes up is the Judgment Day, right? What is going to be of the Judgment Day now that Liv Morgan has done this to get her spot at WrestleMania? Are they going to be good or are they not? It would be one thing if Raquel got eliminated by somebody else, but to be eliminated by her partner is a whole nother ball game. So I don't know what they're going to do, and I believe that it'll end up. Also, if you hear a leaf blower outside, I apologize. It's been going on since this morning. I really don't know when it will stop. So if you hear it, I don't know. I can't control it. So anyway, the Judgment Day. So I believe Raquel is going to be pissed about this. And I believe that eventually we're going to get some sort of babyface uprise in Raquel. I think WWE sees something in her. I think it's obvious that they're trying to push her forward, maybe to get to that championship level. And I think she gets through Liv Morgan eventually to do that. I think Liv ends up winning her title at WrestleMania, whoever it is. And that's how we get that started. Where are we going with Natty? I mean, I think Natty's going to end up going for the IC title. She's eliminated both Becky and Maxine Dupree from the Rumble, so now she's got a sense of control over the situation, and she's going to want a challenge. So I imagine Natty will end up being Intercontinental Champion at some point. I hope so. Brie mode. This is great. This is going to be great. Earlier on the last episode, I talked about the women's tag team division. And the Bella Twins just fit like a glove in there. And I hope they go in there. Because I think the tag team division needs that veteran presence. I think they'd be perfect in that role. And I think they should win the tag titles. Because when they were around being divas, quote unquote, they didn't have tag titles. And they were the women's tag team of the time. They were the only ones doing it. So in my mind, despite what everyone thinks about them, they need to be tag team champions. I think their legacy speaks it so. Charlotte and Alexa beef. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any beef. I think they both understood that it was an accident, that Charlotte eliminated Alexa. I think they'll be good. I don't think they're going to end up beefing. And the Last Legend push, I think, is guaranteed. I think eventually she'll end up, turning on Nia Jax. I don't know how they'll go about that. But I see a lot of good things for Last Legend. So I think it's going to be tremendous stuff for sure. And now we've gotten to the retirement match. AJ Styles versus Gunther. If AJ Styles loses, he must retire. If some of you have already seen my Instagram story, I think you would have already known who has won this match. But I'll get into it. The story of this match was truly based on the fact that Gunther just wants to keep retiring guys. He couldn't take the fact that he tapped out to AJ weeks ago the first time they fought. He backed AJ into the corner with 2026 being his retirement year. And Gunther just wants to shorten it from 12 months to just 1. There's tension throughout the match. Times where Gunther took over and times where AJ took over. And in a time where it's hard not to know what's going on, I just had no clue the entire match. It was back and forth. But Gunther hit Styles eventually with chops after chops after chops after chops after. Y'all have to watch the highlight. And AJ just collapses. I mean, he's just out of it. And the ref doesn't know whether or not to end the match. And I was like yelling at the screen. I was like, if that ref ends this match for AJ Styles' career, I'm gonna be so mad. But AJ came back. He fought hard. He fought so damn hard. But Gunther was just relentless. The whole match, he was literally, he's like a cockroach. He just keeps coming at you. You can't shake him off. It was just relentless. And that he hits his dreaded sleeper, the dreaded sleeper hold, the one that put out John Cena, the one that put out Goldberg. And we see his arm up. This was like 5 minutes of this sleeper hold trying to break out of it. He has his arm up. And I think second by second, as that arm goes down, we see and witness the end of the phenomenal AJ Styles. And the ref raises his arm up and it's down. And he's out. The referee rings the bell and silence fills the arena. Gunther has ended yet another career. Gunther has ended the career of the phenomenal AJ Styles. I can't describe that silence. It reminds me of John Cena. There was silence. Everyone was amazed. You could look at every face in that Saudi Arabian half-empty crowd. Everyone was shocked. It was incredible. AJ, of course, sits in the ring. He's in shock. He just wakes up and notices the lights, the music, Symphony 9 in E minor, And he's just thinking to himself, what the hell just happened? Did I just lose? And emotion just fills his face. This is it. This is something that he agreed to, and now it's here. The consequences of his choice to put his career on the line is here. And as he's about to put his gloves in the middle of the ring, he puts them up, and for a second I thought maybe he's not going to retire. Maybe he's going to say, you know what, fuck you, Gunther. I don't have to retire. But no, I feel like, he was giving one last little signal to the fans that he was done. He thanks them. I mean, he looked visibly upset. Real upset. That's not someone acting. That's someone that's wrestled for over 25 years, putting his blood, sweat, and tears into it, and being respected by everybody he's ever been in the ring with. I haven't heard one person say a bad thing about AJ Styles. So anyway, he thanks the fans, shakes some hands, does his slow walk, and that's it. So, do I think this is the end for AJ Styles? I do. And I've actually thought that this was going to be how it is going to end the whole time. You got to think about where he started here. He started in the Royal Rumble of 2016. And for years, the question always came up about when he was going to retire. And he always wanted to give himself a decade. And it's 2026. To me, I think he, on top of the injury that he had right after coming back, I bet you he had that conversation with himself, with his family, about just leaving while I'm still the best version of myself. He can go another decade if he wanted to. I bet you he could. But so could John Cena, and John Cena chose to go out while he was still able to be the best version of himself. And that takes so much respect. And a lot of people are saying that he will go to AEW or TNA, to go against some guys in TNA where he started, where he made his name, or AEW with Kenny Omega and the history in Japan with that. And I think that's certainly a possibility. It's always a possibility. But for now, I'm going to believe AJ to be the man of his word. I don't think he's going to go back on it. I think he already tried to do that in a feud with Cody. He already pulled a Mark Henry, and that's what I was saying, when he was like pulling the gloves back up. He's like, is he pulling a Mark Henry again? Like, is he going to fake his retirement? But I think sometimes we just have to acknowledge as wrestling fans that some retirements are real. Not every retirement's like Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan where they keep coming back over and over. Not every retirement's like that. A lot of the guys who have retired have stayed retired. So I imagine AJ's done. And it was a very emotional moment, and I don't think that he's going to tarnish that. So, that's that match. Great match. Phenomenal match. AJ, love you, bro. You deserve all the love in the world. You're phenomenal. Next matchup, Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And my gosh, talk about an away game for Drew McIntyre. The hometown hero, Sami Zayn, gets an amazing reaction. Probably the biggest of his entire career, in my opinion. I mean, it's close between him and Montreal, of course, in Elimination Chamber. Those two are like the main biggest crowd reactions I've ever heard from him. Again, he believes he carries an entire country on his shoulders because of his Muslim heritage. which honestly I didn't even learn about him until a couple of years ago, so I always found that to be interesting. From the entrances alone, Drew felt like this obstacle Sammy can't overcome, because up to this point he hasn't beaten Drew. He hasn't won the big one, and so much pressure was on him. I mean, I can't even imagine it. I mean, my poor boy. At some point early in the match, Zayn may have tweaked his lower back, and I don't know, probably was a fake little injury to further the match. I don't know for sure. I haven't heard anything. But Drew makes it the absolute focal point. He attacks it at every angle. He always finds a way to hit his back, and he just really works it. But despite all that, Sami Zayn put up a valiant effort, as Sami Zayn always does in these moments. He's a great underdog. He's always been a great underdog. I think he's trying to get out of the underdog view. But anyway, he keeps fighting back. He's valiant as always. But, there's always a but. Drew gives him one crazy powerbomb through the announce table. And this would eventually lead to the end of the match. So he hits him in the table, drags him back in the ring, hits him with a Claymore kick, which is basically like a giant leaping kick to your dome. And he hits him with it twice. And hits him 1, 2, 3. So, Drew McIntyre retains. Drew McIntyre is still the WWE champion as of this recording. And Sami Zayn is now 0-12. He cannot beat Drew McIntyre, no matter what. It's terrible. And what's next for Sami Zayn? You know, these are the things that I always ask when he loses these big matches, because I love him so much, and he always seems to go all the way up to that moment, and then he falls down. And then he goes back, and then goes all the way back up to that moment, and then goes back down. And he repeats the process. I wish. And maybe with WrestleMania 47 being in Saudi Arabia, Sami Zayn will finally have his moment then. I don't know. But god damn, he needs his moment. He needs to win a world title. And I'm so upset that he keeps not winning the title. But I think that a heel turn might be a good idea. Maybe he can resort back to his cheating ways, like he was in the Bloodline, what made everybody love him in the first place. And I think that would maybe get some of his swag back, some of his momentum back. And I think it's easier to cheat as a bad guy than it is as a good guy. So he could utilize some strategies, some heelish tendencies, and maybe finally win himself his world title, because that's what needs to happen before he retires. Because he's won tag titles, he's won the Intercontinental title, he's won the United States title. That's the only title he hasn't won. So he needs to win it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of when. But it wasn't tonight. It wasn't the Rumble. I thought maybe there was a chance. But no dice. Drew McIntyre is the right man to keep the title. I was excited when he won the title over Cody Rhodes, so nothing wrong with me. I like Drew. I love Drew. And I think he's also a great heel. I think Gunther's the best heel on Raw, and I think Drew's the best heel on SmackDown. Easily. But we cut into our main event now, which is the Men's Royal Rumble. Oh, I don't know how to feel about this one. This is the part, I guess, of the show, because I think everything up to the Sammy finish, I was okay with. This Rumble match, I don't even know how to feel about it. Like, it's got moments that I love, but it's got so many questionable decisions. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get a lot of the choices that were made in this match. But overall, It's not a bad Rumble, like everyone's saying. It's not the worst Royal Rumble of all time, like everyone's saying. I think the right person won the Rumble. I'll get into that. And I think that a few people in this match shouldn't have been in this match. And I'll get into that as well. But I will start with something positive. I love who they chose to start. The Beast and the Ruler, Oba Femi, at number 1. Great pick. Look him up. This guy is a stud. And coming in at number 2, we learned on Raw. I guess I forgot to mention. Not on Raw, I'm sorry. We mentioned on the Royal Rumble kickoff show that Braun Breaker is number 2. To Paul Heyman's visual frustration. He was yelling at Pierce, talking about, are you gonna F-A-F-O with me? I'm gonna F-A-F-O with you. And if you don't know what F-A-F-O means, it's fuck around and find out. So, sorry, but that's what it is. So, anyway, Paul Heyman thinks this is all still part of the conspiracy, putting Braun Breaker in at number 2, knowing it's a disadvantage. He's got 28 other guys to deal with. Paul Heyman's not happy about it. So despite all that shenanigans, Braun Breaker comes out. He walks down to the aisle, and a hooded figure just rolls up on him and starts attacking him. We don't know who he is. We don't know where he's coming from, but he gives him a stomp on the floor and just leaves the scene. And I don't know who it was. I'll get into my candidates for who this guy could possibly be. But Breaker was getting back into the ring and was immediately eliminated by Obafemi. So whoever this was screwed Braun Breaker completely out of the Rumble. Their complete vision of Braun Breaker being this guy who can go the distance just snapped like that. I was blown away with how quickly that turned out. And I have no idea who caused that, but whoever caused that has some severe beef with the vision. I'll get into that. After this, Oba just goes on a tear. He eliminates everybody else in his path that comes after Braun Breaker. It's crazy. Until Damian Priest eventually shows up and says, nah, I ain't dealing with this shit. So, here's where my first problem with this Rumble match comes in. Mr. Iguana comes out at number 9. Yes, Mr. Iguana. And for those of you who do not know, good. No, I'm just kidding. Look, he's this wrestler on a independent show, AAA in Mexico. And he's got a cute gimmick where he's got this lizard puppet. He's got green face paint. Like, it's great. It's great for AAA and what it brings for AAA. But he's not signed to WWE. And I kind of was against the whole idea of bringing guys over here from TNA with, like, Mickie James coming in. To begin with, like, the whole idea of cross-promotion rumbles, I don't like that idea. Because you're taking away spots from people who are actually signed to the company who would like to have a spot in this match. As much as I love Mr. Iguana and the guys over there at AAA, I just think it takes away from guys who are actually part of the company. If you want to sign Mr. Iguana, sign Mr. Iguana. I imagine they will. But I just don't think it's the Rumble. I don't think you throw him in the Rumble. Entries number 12 and 13 were also horrible because of the El Grande Americano gimmick. So I'm going to try to give you all a story recap of this god-awful gimmick. Chad Gable is a Olympic gold medalist, and he wants to figure out how to beat the luchadors. So he goes to some place in Mexico and finds a mask and makes himself into this luchador character, El Grande Americano. At first, I loved it. So funny. Because he was always trying to act like it wasn't him. And it made it so entertaining. I loved it at first. He's from the Gulf of America. Whatever you think about that, fine. It was a funny gimmick. But then Chad Gable goes away for whatever reason. I can't remember. And so they're having other people filling in for him. So now there's like 4 different El Grande Americanos. You know? And so Ludwig Kaiser used to be part of Gunther's group. And I guess this is their answer for him, is to put him in a mask and call him El Grande Americano while Chad Gable's been gone. So Chad Gable came back at the Royal Rumble as El Grande Americano to confront Ludwig Kaiser's El Grande Americano. So there's 2 El Grande Americanos in the ring. And there's 2 other ones. Bravo Americano and the other Americano. There's 4 fucking Americanos. Where is this going? And why did this take up a spot in the Rumble? At least, like, if you're gonna do it, put it on a Raw or something. Like, it does not need to be in a Royal Rumble. We gotta think about who could have been in this match instead. Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano. Yeah, spoiler alert, Finn Balor wasn't even in this Rumble match. Even though, on Monday Night Raw, I was hyping him up like he was gonna be something crazy. And he wasn't even a part of the match. He wasn't even a part of the match. So I don't understand why 5 El Grande Americanos need to be scurrying around the ring during the Rumble. I don't care about it. I just wish it would end. It's gone on long enough. It really has. Everybody involved had so much better off before this, and they just need to just be done with this gimmick. It just needs to end. It's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, rant over. Number 14 was a shock to me because we have a rumored for weeks, but now confirmed debuting Royce Keys, formerly known as AEW superstar Powerhouse Hobbs. And the first person he came face-to-face with was Cody Rhodes. And you know, if you don't know the history, Cody Rhodes is the founder of AEW, or he helped found AEW. And so, you know, there's a lot of history there. So he goes face-to-face with Cody, fights a bunch of guys, faces off against Big Bronson Reed of the Vision. Austin Theory of the Vision comes in at number 15. And I was wondering how the Vision was going to, I was really wondering how the Vision was going to recover after their golden ticket just kind of got eliminated in 5 seconds. Like, it's crazy. But we get through the match a little more. Crazy entry at number 21. My man. I'm going to be a LA Knight defender until the end of time. LA Knight comes out at number 21. He returns after being taken out by the Vision. Big Bronson Reed hits this big tsunami splash on him on top of a car windshield. He's been out for a minute. But then we see at number 22 a beast incarnate with of course, Paul. You're going to hear a lot of Paul Heyman on this report. Brock Lesnar has returned, accompanied by his classic advocate, Paul Heyman. And I think we get to see a masterful matchup of meaty men with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. These 2 guys are just so ruthless. I can't wait until they fight because I imagine they're going to. But before they get to, obviously they're going to be stopped. the whole Rumble field kind of breaks them up because they know damn well those two are the biggest threats in the field. But Brock is just throwing guys around. I mean, he is a beast. You don't call him that for nothing. The guy is a physical specimen. It's insane. But he eventually, when him and Obafemi do fight, Brock eventually eliminates Oba. Oba had a great showing. I imagined it so. I didn't think maybe he would have gotten eliminated as quickly as I thought, but no big deal. So, Brock's essentially taken this thing over after eliminating Oba. But I forgot to mention our Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes eliminated Brock Lesnar. Their history is crazy. And when I tell you, I was like rooting so hard against Cody Rhodes because of, I had my own want, I guess, for who I wanted to win. I've wanted him to win the times he did win. I just didn't want him to win this year. So, anyway, he eliminates Brock Lesnar and LA Knight. Brock Lesnar gets eliminated by Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. Eventually, Yeet Man Jey Uso makes his way in at 25. Bro literally spent 15 minutes getting out to the ring, I swear to God. In the time I was writing this, he was still doing the fucking dance. Like, I love doing it, but when you do it for 10, 15 minutes, oh my gosh. He took forever to get to the ring. Everybody usually just runs to the ring, bro. Just walking through the stands, high-fiving, holding babies, and no one wants to, get to the ring, bro. This is a Royal Rumble. Anyway, our glorious tribal chief, Roman Reigns, the one who's been announced to come back for this thing, comes out right after, and Jay tries to get Roman to do the yeet dance mid-match. When I tell you all, I was about to be so mad if they were about to run it back again, because they had already run it back once again. So I'm just tired of it. Eventually, I'm yeeted out. I'm yeeted out. But eventually, Roman Reigns is like, "Nah, I ain't doing that. We're family. I love you, Oos. But we gotta fight. This is Royal Rumble." So they fight like cousins do, I guess. But thank God for Roman. And at number 28, Jacob Fatu, another cousin of the Anoa'i family, which consists of Roman, the Usos. It's a big family. You gotta look into it. Jacob Fatu comes in at number 28. This guy is such a beast. Another beast. And he starts wrecking shop as you would expect Jacob Fatu to wreck shop. But the last entrant, the last man to enter this Royal Rumble match was the same man that put out AJ Styles literally just hours before that. The ring general Gunther comes in at number 30. And my gosh, the audacity of him to enter a Rumble after retiring somebody, knowing damn well if you won and went to WrestleMania, everybody's going to hate the audacity. So anyway, once all 30 have entered, we eventually trim the field down to the final four, who are Logan Paul of the Vision, Roman Reigns, Gunther, and Randy Orton. Cody Rhodes ended up getting eliminated because Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, Claymore kicked him out of the match. So that match, Cody and Drew are going to get fiery. SmackDown's going to be crazy. I imagine Cody's pissed. But out of these final four, Logan Paul is first eliminated by Randy Orton, who is then eliminated by Gunther. So now we're down to Gunther and Roman Reigns. What a final two, by the way. I was just happy Cody now seems to have a different path. that he can still do. I'll get into that later. But Gunther and Roman Reigns are the last two. And the whole time I was like, there's no way this guy's going to retire AJ Styles and win the Rumble in the same night. That's not happening. And for a minute there, it looked like it was. Because classic Gunther fashion, he has Roman Reigns in that sleeper. And you think it's going to be over. But my God, do I remember my tribal chief in that moment. And so Roman Reigns, throughout all that crap with the Vision and all that crap about, not being the tribal chief anymore, he eliminates Gunther, and he is the winner of the men's 2026 Royal Rumble. And we'll be going to the main event of WrestleMania. The right man won, like I said. I think this match could have been tons better. I was expecting Chris Jericho to return. Obviously, he didn't. I'm sure that's down the line. I don't know when that'll be. I figured it would have been the Saudi Rumble, but Roman Reigns is your winner. It was okay. I think it was an okay Rumble. I think there were times that I just shake my head and question it, but the right guy won. Certainly, there were some good moments. But we'll talk about some of the major points here, and then we'll wrap things up for the Royal Rumble report. So what's next for Cody and Drew? Personal. 100% personal. If we know Drew, he will make things even more personal than they are now. And this feud has gotten crazy bitter. And Cody's going to be very upset, obviously, about being screwed out of his championship opportunity at WrestleMania. Drew wanted to make sure Cody didn't win, obviously. So there's going to be some major beef. They're going to keep that thing going probably until Mania. And that's why I was saying, I was hoping he didn't win the Rumble because he can always win the Chamber, the Elimination Chamber, and then get his way into WrestleMania that way with Drew. Because I feel like that's inevitable at this point. Cody and Drew at WrestleMania. Maybe. I don't know. But that's all I know for now. All I know is that they're going to get crazier. The feud's going to get crazier. And I'm stoked for it. Who will Roman Reigns choose to face? It's tough because I don't know. I think a lot of people originally were thinking Cody and Roman 3, but because he's lost the WWE title to Drew, I don't know. My bets are CM Punk because that's also an inevitable match. Cody Rhodes and CM Punk is one, and then Roman Reigns and CM Punk is the other. So I imagine I'm leaning more towards CM Punk and Roman Reigns than I am Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. But we'll see, obviously. And maybe a member of the Vision will be world champion by then. And I mean, Roman's had beef with the Vision and Paul Heyman for a minute. Being the former wise man that Paul Heyman was to Roman Reigns. So, well, who exactly was that masked man at the beginning of the match? My number one bet is Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins was the former leader of the Vision. Notice how I've left him out of that conversation. Because the other members took him out. They took out their leader. And so now there's a group with no leaders, essentially, according to them. But Seth Rollins was taken out by the Vision. He was their first victim, really. And so he's been gone for a while, and I imagine with his signature move, the stomp to the head on the floor, he's a little taller, on the taller side. It could be Logan Paul, too. I've heard the rumors. I'll show you a picture. But you can see how it might be Logan Paul sabotaging Braun Breaker maybe to get his own spot. But I'm going to leave with Seth Rollins. I think Seth might have the best chance of being that masked man. And we'll eventually figure it out. That's why you gotta keep watching. That's the beauty of the biz. That's the art of what we do. Why does LA Knight keep being treated like this? That was a question I left for this. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with LA Knight and why they aren't giving him a world title. Or at least... Because they keep putting him in all these major things, but he never wins. He never wins the big one. You know, he's like Sammy. He's like lost in limbo. He can't ever reach over that mountain and be the world champion. Because I feel like they're afraid to put it on a newer guy. They're trying to go with safer bets like Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. But the fans love these guys. And I think LA Knight deserves so much more. I think a lot of people would agree with me. He's so talented in every regard. Push LA Knight to the moon. And what's the future for Powerhouse Hobbs / Royce Keys, the debuting AEW superstar? I don't know. He just got in the game. I could see him being in things with Rusev or something. Sheamus is always a good opponent. You know, you get in there with Bronson Reed, maybe the Vision. You know, you got the vision of that, quote unquote, in the Royal Rumble. You can put him in with... Who else do they got, man? Braun Breaker would be sick, too. There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys for Powerhouse Hobbs to go against. Or I keep saying Powerhouse Hobbs, because that's, you know, how I'm used to calling him, but... Royce Keys. Excited to see what Royce Keys will bring to the company. But with that being said, I believe that's it for my Royal Rumble report. If I were to give my overall analysis on things, I wasn't not entertained. They entertained me. They did that. They did that part correctly. There were just things that I wouldn't have done if it were me booking the show. But obviously it's not me booking the show. So overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Solid. I just think there's things that they could have done a little different with the men's rumble, especially. Just think they could have done a little different with that. But thank you all so much. I have enjoyed doing this, and I will catch you all in the next wrestling report.